Hello, everybody. And, let's get back right into it, shall we? Alright, this decision here. I'm gonna adjust this so it's easy for me to read. Hold on. There you go. Okay, recording's on, everything's on. Okay, wonderful. Can you please promise me to be more serious about this from now on? Yes. Yeah, I promise. Definitely. He studies me for a moment and then shrugs, smiling again. Okay, that's more like it. If you go to the school track tomorrow morning, you'll meet my spy, who probably has no qualms offering consultation to you if you want to jog a bit. I'm gonna lower this. There you go. Yeah, for some reason my OBS says my volume is spiking, so hopefully it isn't that bad. You know, I keep having issues with audio, I guess. I don't know. Consultation? See you around. Excuse me. He leaves with a wave of his hand and no answer. I walked to Rin, who has been waiting, idly leaning against the hallway wall and staring at the pale lighting fixtures in the ceiling. Even when I approach, she doesn't move her eyes off them. Are you getting medications for your heart thingy? Were you listening? It comes out more accusatory than I intended, accidentally lashing out at her. But even so, I don't really want to start talking about it. I just met her. I don't know her. It's not her business. The nurse seems to be happily ignorant about confidentiality too, talking about that kind of thing in public. But it's not Rin's fault, is it? I look up at her, suddenly feeling a bit guilty. But Rin is just staring past my shoulder quizzically. Her head is tilted like a bird's. I don't know why this is so hard for me. It feels like there's some inexplicable lock that prevents me from being more upfront about this. Yeah, therefore my heart. Will they make you better? No, not really. They just make me a little less worse. Rin keeps looking at me for a while longer, and she neither says anything further nor displays any kind of emotion I could discern. I'm thankful that she doesn't. I think I'm still I think I'm still not quite used to all of this. At the hospital it was easy, but I haven't sorted my feelings about having to live a normal life with this disability. We leave the main building, and Rin leads us onwards towards the dorm. We stop at the small patch of greenery in front of the dorm building. The dorm is built on a slightly elevated ground, with a wall and a few trees that everyone has to circle around every time they come or go. It's probably the only inconvenient design in the school. The entire wall is made up of the same kind of bricks as the building itself. The entire wall, made of the same kind of bricks as the building itself, has been covered with some sort of painting. Yeah, that was awkward. You know, one thing I'm starting to notice is that there's a lot of run-on sentences with this game. Like, it doesn't feel natural to read. But, like, you know, I consider it way more well-written than a lot of other games like it, so whatever. Anyways. Most of it is still mere sketches. Quick lines drawn with black and white against the gray plastering that covers almost the entire length of the wall. But some places look a bit more finished. Yeah, you see what I'm going on about here. There's like, I don't want to say apostrophe. Is that a comma? Is that a comma? Anyways, it's like, okay. First part of the sentence, comma. Second part in the sentence, you can put a period there. like, come on, give me a break, please. Sorry about being critical about this. Let's just continue. Stacks of what seem to be paint cans are arranged in piles on the ground beside the wall. See, the left side is hardly off the ground yet. It's because I couldn't get in the mood yesterday, so I gave up and went to meditate instead. Then it was suddenly morning. Yeah, meditation is pretty good. Like, it helps you focus the mind and helps you do other things. Yeah. I have to work on it, but the guys from art class are helping with the negative spaces and base surfaces whenever, which is a problem. It's easier to paint big areas if there are a lot of people with hands. The reach is better and it's faster too. She goes on a tangent of a tangent, waving a little with her arm, or whatever of it there actually is, to demonstrate even though I got the point already. The white cotton of her sleeve flaps around, and it makes me think it could look sadder than it does. But it makes me feel out of place, like almost every tangible reminder of the student base's special properties has. It makes me feel out of place, like almost every tangible reminder of the student base's special properties has in the past few days. This girl doesn't notice my dreary feelings, of course, or the fact that she has lost me a while ago already, and just keeps on blabbering. So that's why I'm trying to figure out if is something I need to figure out, and then figure that out before it's too late and all hope is lost. Why would the hope be lost? Because paint has to be painted, and then it has to dry, and then it has to be painted over with another kind of paint. It takes time. She finally stops, apparently thinking she made some kind of statement that makes sense. I think it's best to start from the top. So, this is your project? You did this? Yes. All of it? Yes. Nice, but I stumble with my words, suddenly feeling like I've walked straight into a minefield of political incorrectness. It's okay. You can say it. I probably won't get mad. I blush really hard. I don't really know what would be the right thing to say, if any. It feels that I'm way more sensitive than Rin is, though. This is really awkward. Don't you want to ask? How do you paint without hands? See? I'm an easy person to talk to, right? With my feet. I almost guessed that already, but isn't that hard to do? You're good at guessing. Anyway, I don't think it is. But maybe I'm used to it by now. I can't get my mind around the fact that she could be an artist. But seeing how adept she was at using her feet to eat, I figure painting might not be a problem either. Neither of us has anything more to add to the subject. The afternoon light works pretty well. I was afraid it would look too flat, but it's not like that after all. I think it's actually pretty interesting. I wanted to see what it looks like in dim light. Do you think it's flat? Well, paintings tend to be flat. Not like that flat, flat. Like some people are. No substance, no meat where there should be some. I know a few girls who... Okay, I get it. But I couldn't really tell. I'm not that good with art. I can't name many artists or artistic terms, so I don't have anything to say. Rin shrugs her shoulders at that, saying suit yourself, without saying it, and looks up at the sky as if trying to look for something up there. I didn't think I'd get any actual work done, but if you give me a hand with the paints, I could do a little before it's too dark. I wanted to get a halogen lamp or like the ones they have at the sports track, but there aren't any. Ren is sure quick to recruit my help, as would Shizune. It really makes me feel that the festival is such a big project that every pair of hands is needed. Why not? I'm not really sure if I could be of any help, though. It's just mixing some paints. You could do that, probably. Do you have motor control problems? Like, those people who have some cerebral palsy, maybe? Not that I know of. I get it. Heart thingy has nothing to do with that. She gives me a sly look for no reason. No, it doesn't. Let's do it then. So she sits on an empty wooden box and very naturally picks up a wide brush between the toes of her bare right foot. I open a few of the cans and pour some of the contents into shallow bowls for mixing. The thick paints flow lazily from the can to the bowl like syrup. I mix them, creating funny, hypnotic-looking swirl patterns that melt quickly into each other and to form a new monotone hue. Rin sets to work, every now and then asking me for a hand with something or the other. Finding different brushes is easy enough, but mixing the paints to be the exact tone this girl is apparently seeing in her head is a frustrating ordeal. She wants precision down to the last millimeter before she is satisfied, but her instructions are obscure at best. Add half a splash of green. I crouch down to pick up the can of bright green. The other green, this green. I carefully pour some of the other green paint into the mixing bowl. No, that's almost a whole splash, more white. Is green a good color to add? I mean, is green a good color to add? No idea, you're the artist here. A hint of a smile appears in the corners of her mouth. Do you lack an opinion? No, it's just I have no idea. It's okay, because I got an idea. Add more white. With this exclamation, I pour a minuscule amount of white into the bowl and mix it. It looks slightly whiter? That's not good. It has to be like the color of when you wake up and you know that you saw the meaning of your life in your dream, but can't remember it. Maybe it's yellow. Despite the impossibility of mixing a color like the change of seasons, or any other nonsense that's being imposed on me, I find myself enjoying it more than I thought I would. Seeing a painting being born on the plastered wall feels like magic. I spend the moments I have between mixing paints, crouching down on the paving, and just looking at her work. It feels slightly intrusive at first, like breaking some imaginary intimacy. But Rin doesn't seem to mind it the least bit. Maybe it's just in my head? Her entire presence emits a completely different air as she patiently works the details, adding layers of paint on top of the other layers of paint, steadily moving her foot across the wall to add new shapes. When I manage to introduce a passable mixture of paint, the rare smile on her face is oddly rewarding. Apart from the few words when discussing paint mixes, neither of us says a word for the longest time. And even those short discussions soon evolve into shorthand, both of us developing and using weird impromptu code words for various paints and hues. As if there was some need to conserve words and breath and sound. We stay there late into the evening, until it becomes too dark to paint properly. Alright, so since it is Sunday today, I'm going to do the recording a bit differently. Basically, I'm going to be recording several hours of footage and then breaking it down into several episodes and seeing how that works. So, yeah. I mean, I already did like 2 hours yesterday, so I mean, it's nothing out of the realm of possibility though. So the sound of an alarm pulls me out of a fitful slumber and into the unpleasant state of wakefulness. I linger under the blanket for a few minutes, gathering energy to rise up while making excuses for why I already haven't. Honestly, I wouldn't mind staying here for all day. School is surprisingly exhausting. After a long pause and the culture shock still has not faded, I think. Still, despite getting an impression that skipping class is easy here, I don't think they're going to let me get away that easily. And the nurse is bound to keep breathing down my neck with all the talk of exercising as well. So eventually I do rise up, swallow the morning medications, and put on my old soccer clothing. Thanks to my condition, I was exempted from taking part of gym classes at Yamaku, so I didn't get issued with a gym outfit. In order to cover such a contingency, but wearing my old soccer clothes is kind of nostalgic. I can't use them for that anymore. So maybe they can get a new life this way. A bit like me. After all, if I'm going to start taking care of myself, I can't afford to slack around. I'll start from the basics. The basics which include keeping the rest of my body in shape along with what little I can do to strengthen my heart. Maybe then I can go back to something approaching a normal life. Or at least something where I'm least likely to fall over dead at any minute. I'm surprised to discover that I'm not the only one present at the track. Not just that, but it's a face I've seen before. The prosthetic-legged girl who bowled me over in the hallway yesterday is running on the track lithely, like a half mechanical gazelle. What was her name again? It was a short one, but I can't remember. She seemed to be running laps at a somewhat easy lope, her prosthetic legs clacking rhythmically on the hard track surface. I wonder what reason she has for running this early in the morning. Maybe it's something akin to mine, and the nurse is oppressing the poor girl to jog, just like he's oppressing me. You're oppressing me! Yeah! I certainly wouldn't be here if it weren't for my health, and his prompting me to do so. And even with things being the way they are, it's only because I wanted to get it out of the way early. The fact that I would be less likely to encounter someone who would witness my pitiful attempts to get in shape was merely a happy accident. I'd leave, but it seems my former assailant noticed me on her last lap. She waves at me cheerfully and jogs over. Good morning. Your name is Hizao, right? She grins, seemingly pleased that she'd remembered my name. You may not remember me. Emmy, I knocked you over in the hall yesterday? Miss Ibarazaki? She imitates Misha, imitating Chizune, failing to get the same kind of subdued lilt into her high-pitched voice. How could I forget such a blunt introduction? Emmy has the decency to look vaguely apologetic for a moment before giggling. Yeah, sorry about that again. Well, so long as you don't make a habit of it, I suppose it's fine. Great. I'm not sure she realized I was joking. So the spy consultant the nurse was talking about, is that actually you? That's right. Oh. I was expecting someone from the nursing staff, to be honest. Huh? What are you saying? Are you saying that I don't look like I could be a spy? No, this is more like a relief. I was afraid he would have someone to watch my every move. Unless you're here to do exactly that. No, I'm here for my own reasons. The nurse asked me if I had seen a messy-haired transfer student who looks like he's kind of lost around the track. So, why are you down here? Emmy strikes a dramatic pose. Training. For what? Track. I see. You're on the track team then. Emmy nods enthusiastically. Yep. I'm one of the better runners too. And modest about it too. Sarcasm. Hey, you should join up. It's good exercise, you know. I think that much activity is probably out of the question for me. Nah, I'm not even sure that I really like running all that much. Plus, I'm just not into organized sports, you know? It's true. I never really got that much into soccer. I mean, I'd run around with my friends and all, but that was really the only reason I ever played. It wasn't for the glory to be found on the field, that's for sure. Emmy seems to understand my meaning. I see. Not into that whole organization thing. But now you're here. I guess we're going to run together, huh? What? Sure, I guess. Emmy seems pleased. Are you going to warm up? Real men don't warm up. Oh no, you should always warm up. That is how... She scolds me enthusiastically, but then smiles and leans closer. I hate warming up too. She laughs suddenly. And I don't even have to stretch my legs. As if to confirm her statement, she bounces up and down a couple times, giving a passing impression of standing on a pair of springs. Her leg blades seem to be quite elastic. Let's go. So we both take off around the track, and I can immediately see that she wasn't lying about being good at running. Emmy moves fluidly, throwing herself into the run with a sort of wild abandon. I find myself concentrating more on running properly. Hands spread, right? And something about hitting the balls of your feet rather than the heels. I tried to match my stride to Emmy's, but it's pretty difficult. Apparently I'm not very good at it. Maybe Emmy could help me with that sometime. I'm really not feeling up to more than a couple of laps a day, and slow to a walk pretty quickly. Emmy keeps running and doesn't seem to notice I've stopped until she passes me a second time. She quickly skids to a halt, breathing steadily in contrast to my own gasping demeanor. Finished already? I hang my head ruefully. Yeah, not in very good shape right now. Emmy nods and then grins at me again. She seems to do a lot of smiling. Well, the important thing is that you started, right? Next time, you just have to try to hold out longer, and then longer, and longer, and longer, and eventually you'll be great. I'll keep that in mind. But I think right now, I'm going to go get ready for class. Shouldn't you? Emmy shrugs unconcernedly. Nah, I've got plenty of time. I noticed that she's not wearing a watch. Are you sure? Another careless shrug. Not really, but I've got to finish my routine. See you later, Hazao. Yeah, see ya. I'm not sure whether this morning experiment was a success or failure, but I'll admit that I do feel slightly good about getting out there this morning. And like Emmy said, I just need to keep up at it in order to get better, right? Practice makes perfect or something like that. It's nice at least to feel like I've taken some semblance of control over my own health. I'll have to try to keep this up. I head back to the dorms to watch and change my uniform, trying to resist the urge to take a really long and hot shower. I'm tired from all the running, so I just want to unwind, but I don't want to break my slowly building routine of getting to school before the morning rush. After taking a long shower anyway, I dry myself off and get out of the stall to put on my clothes. Out of nowhere, a shadow appears within the mist, looming and radiating malicious intent. It bursts through the fog. Sup? What are you doing here? What the hell? You scared me. What's your problem? I should be asking you that. I've been looking for you all over the place, man. What do you mean all over the place? I want to ask if he's been looking for me like that, stark naked, but hold my tongue back. I finally realize I'm naked too, and quickly hold up my shirt in front of me. But Kenji didn't seem to notice a thing. His glasses are fogged up. But then, why doesn't he wipe them off? Is his vision so bad, it's like he's perpetually seeing through fog? You know, your room and, yeah, that's it. Hey, I mean, I still had to get up, though. Whatever. It's not important. Can I borrow some money? He puts on an innocent face and looks away, trying very hard to look very casual. It doesn't work, as he's as transparent as his window pane-sized glasses. Talking neutrally like this, wearing nothing, feels awkward. Actually, somehow it's even more awkward to be naked in front of someone when they can't see me being naked. To say nothing of the fact that he's naked as well. I tried to brush the feeling off with little success. Money? Sure. Awesome. Wait. Why do you need it? Can't you just give it to me because I had the goodwill to not run through your pockets while you were in the shower? I could have, but I exercised restraint. And in the end, isn't it the thought that counts? Come on, be a pal. That makes no sense. If it's the thought that counts, I should withhold payment, since his thoughts were so clearly impure, and his intentions are probably even more sinister, since he can't tell me what they are. I say as much to him. I'm offended, man. But if that's your game, then fine. I guess I have no choice. I want to order a pizza. And I already have most of the cost of the pizza. I need your help for the rest. I get some of that pizza too, right? No! Are you serious? Yeah, I would give you some, but you have class. You don't have time to eat a pizza. How about you? What about you? I'm not going to class. I have to wait for the pizza and pay the guy. And then eat it. It's not easy. You have to obtain the pizza stealthily. If you don't, everyone will see you. And the pizza. And they will ask for a slice. It's a hard world out there. Everyone wants a piece. Then you're left pizzaless in an unforgiving world. It's happened to me before. That's how I knew. Every day, I plan my vengeance. So that when the people who wronged me order a pizza, I will be there. Ever vigilant. Kenji strikes a dramatic pose, completely without irony. But yeah, I only need like 400 yen. Please, you're my only hope. I can't go outside and buy my own pizza. It's too far. I try not to go out unless it's absolutely necessary. Let me tell you what happened last time I went out without carefully planning it out in advance. I was outside. I can't remember what I was doing. Something. Standing. Maybe wondering how I got there. And then out of nowhere, it happened. Like a flash of lightning, splitting the sky like how you split a sandwich into 2 equal pieces to make it more manageable to hold and eat. A bird crapped on my head. It was the second most shocking moment of my life. Look, Kenji, I go outside every day and, like, take a walk. Like, I sometimes run, and, like, a bird has never shat on me. Like, the only time I went into contact with, like, bird poop on my skin was, like, literally a few weeks ago when I was outside. And, like, there was, like, this little dot of bird shit that just landed on my forearm. I went to the closest bathroom to wash it off, and, like, that was the only time it happened. And I go outside every single day. So, like, it's... Kenji is an interesting person, for sure. What was the first? He ignores me and keeps going. I want to grab him and shake him. Is he just trying to keep momentum? I'll go with that. Even if it's more likely he just didn't hear me. It was like in the openings to some kind of anime show. You know how there's always a part where the main dude is fighting his rival and they fly at each other and clash swords, but there's like big dramatic colors, auras, and zoom. Honestly, I don't watch that many animes with like sword characters. Like, I have not watched Naruto. I have not watched Bleach. Over last summer, I read and got caught up with One Piece, and I'm still caught up with One Piece. But, like, I don't... I mean, I get what he's talking about. It's just, like, personally, for me, I just haven't watched that much anime, man. Just like that, but with poo. Okay. So yeah, I need some money, please. Don't leave me hanging, man. I only need, like, 1,000 yet. You said 400 earlier. I thought it was 400. Okay. What? I'll pay you back, I swear. You better. That's what it means to borrow stuff. I don't know when I'll be able to pay you back. You have 1 week. Kenji winces and makes a noise like a dying cow. A particularly disturbing fact, given that his baton is conducting freely. You're not supposed to be tight-assed about money between brothers in arms, man. Men have it bad enough as it is. Did you know that male porn stars only make... Did you know that male porn stars only make about half of what a female porn stars make? That doesn't mean anything unless you're a porn star. So maybe I am a porn star on the side, struggling to make ends meet as I fight the feminist agenda. You can't even spot me in your crumbs, you bastard. Nobody understands. Nobody! Wouldn't feminists be against pornography in the first place? Or you'd be surprised. This feminist agenda stuff again? This stuff is important. I can see that you don't give a shit, but it's serious here. Feminists are a dangerous enemy, make no mistake. You take them lightly, and then you wake up in the morning with a knife in your back. Bam! Out of nowhere. How do you wake up in the morning if someone stabbed you in your sleep? Women are terrible at stabbing things. I thought you just said don't take them lightly. Well, I mean, don't take them lightly for the big things. Individually, they're not on a threat. But if there's some kind of war, like a big war, with men on one side and the feminist forces on the other, it would be pretty ugly. And that day will come when the feminists come out of their central top secret worldwide feminist headquarters and say, "It's on now, motherfuckers!" You're being ridiculous. There was no big worldwide feminist headquarters building. Where would they even hide that? I mean, it'd have to be massive. You couldn't hide that on Earth. Someone would notice a big fortress with women only in it. Who said it was on Earth? I turn away from Kenji and start practicing frowny faces in the mirror so I can figure out what kind of frown will be best to express my emotions. He can't see me from this distance anyway. Which unfortunately means that he keeps on ranting without any regard of sense or sensibility. Yeah, there's a war going on. A war not many know about. But it's a great one that will one day boil over and encompass all of the known world. Then we will have to pick sides. We will have to make a stand. In fact, it's happening right now. Imagine it. The bloody battlefield. A vicious conflict without end. I almost gave up. When I thought this cause was silly. When I grew tired of the bleakness of our fight. When I mistook the time the power went out for a feminist raid and thought the end was near. But then I realized that if I gave up, it would be all over. And I was like, whoa. And I knew it had to get serious. Because I am the last sane man in an insane world. It's without duty. Must be a pretty crappy movement if it all hinges on one naked guy ranting in a bathroom at another naked guy. So can I have the money? He's blocking the way out. It's getting cold because I'm still naked, and I want to go to class. So I agree to spot him the money. Awesome, thanks dude. We should go bowling later on. Bowling? Yeah, it's the ultimate sport. There are almost like no women in bowlers either, making it also the manliest sport. Okay. I should wear my pink bowling shirt with matching shoes, or the pastel green with flower accents. There are bowling clothes? Maybe. Anyway, you had better pay me back. I can pay you back in stuff, right? I don't have the time to ask him to elaborate on what that means. I don't know, I have to get to class and you're kind of in the way. Oh, sorry. I don't want to hold you up, and I have some stuff to do myself. The time has come. The time for what? I just like saying that. Okay, now the time has really come. For what? I have to use the bathroom. Get out of it. I was going to... And what does that mean? It's a big bathroom. So, I have to be alone or I can't go. The pressure. Okay, what if someone else comes in? I'll think of something. I give him my practiced frown, and it looks kind of silly reflected in his glasses. He either doesn't notice or doesn't see anyway. So I get dressed and run back to my room, feeling as though an eternity has passed since I woke up. That is time I will never get back. I'll get him for this somehow. Right now, I have to get to class. I'm the first person in class today, although I think I'm a little too early. Then again, sitting alone here for 20 minutes sure beats having to suffer that time with Kenji. The combination of fatigue, frustration, and boredom starts making me feel very tired. I black out for a second, waking up when my head hits the surface of my desk. Rubbing my forehead, I realize this is a good reason as any to stay up for now and stop coming to class so early later. Eventually, I hear a tapping noise outside the hallway, and Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. She's not in this class, so she must have some other business. Maybe she's looking for Hanako? Lily stops at the door, looking hesitant, as if she was a vampire who can't come in unless invited. I consider doing so because she looks rather lonesome standing there. She steps in on her own accord, though, after straightening her skirt and shirt collar, as if it was important to look prim when entering our classroom. "Excuse me," she calls into the quiet classroom with a probing, delicate voice. I realize the silence might unnerve her because of her blindness, so I break it. "Good morning, Lily." "Hazao? Good morning. I didn't hear you come in." I wonder if she thinks it's suspicious I didn't say anything to her before. It's likely if I were to tell too big a lie now. It would sink me. Well, I was already here, just asleep until now. "Oh? Have you seen Hanako today by any chance?" "No, she seems to come in only just before the bells ring. Or after that. Do you want me to tell her something for you?" "No, it's fine. It's strange, but I think we're the only two people in the school right now. I didn't hear anyone else on my way here." "I shouldn't have gotten up so early today, I guess." "You're chastising yourself for doing something that other people should. Punctuality is a good thing. I think so, anyway." It's a very busy morning today. The festival is coming up soon, and today is the deadline for event registration, budget reports, and any other official paperwork. It could be that everyone is trying to complete the necessary forms at the last minute. Maybe that's why it's so quiet today. Hi, hi! Misha pops into the room with Shizune as if on cue, shouting with a loudness that makes Lily visibly flinch. Hi, Hichan. Hi. Look, it's the class representative. Hello. Lily smiles, probably amused by Misha's or Shizune's use of the word look. Good morning. Of course, you're not the representative of this class, right? Right? I'm not. Lily seems a little more guarded in her answers to Shizune than she was with me the other day. I guess they really don't get along at all. Then I realize that Lily might actually not know Shizune is present, and she's trying to detect whether or not she is, to know who she is talking to. For all she knows, she's talking to Misha, but knowing that she and Shizune are practically inseparable, she might expect Shizune being the one that actually talks. Damn, how complicated. I decided to help Lily out, for my own peace of mind more than anything else. You're here early, Shizune. You were here even earlier than us. Misha puffs out her cheeks angrily. Why is she getting angry? Does she feel emotions on Shizune's behalf too? That would be a wild situation. Anyway, it's not that weird though. It's not that weird though that Shizune didn't like my little comment. It's true. I was here earlier than them, so me saying something like that could definitely be misinterpreted as anything. Especially to Shizune, who doesn't have the benefit of hearing tone to gauge intent. Before I can start weighing whether or not I should apologize, Shizune has already moved on. Class rep, it's a good thing you're here. We have to talk. The festival is coming up in 3 days, right? Every other class has already handed in their projected budget reports for their events, even the first years. Except you. There's still the time to hand it in, isn't there? Today. The deadline is today. You're certainly taking your time, aren't you? If I had it my way, I would have had all the necessary paperwork days ago. But someone had to say the deadline, please extend it. Yes, that was me. Planning something on the scale is not a small task. And a week is too small a time frame to expect a whole class to work out such a complex issue completely. Do you want to know what's harder than distributing the funds for one whole class event? Handing the same matter for every class in the school and then some. The one who does that is me! Misha puts her hands on her hips and stands up straight. Wow, she's really getting into the role. Lily doesn't look like she's very amused, though. Hey, Shizune, aren't you being a little too hard on her? There's still a whole day left. Please, Hazao, it is alright. Lily seems happy I'm taking her side, but a bit conflicted that I might not think she can take care of herself. If this is about the budget, then I'm disappointed you think I've forgotten it. I understand how important it is. Then, can I have it, please? Shizune she might not have it on her at this exact second. It's not here right now. I asked 2 students to take care of it for me. Students from my class. She emphasizes the last sentence, much to my surprise. She knows about Shizune's and Misha's efforts to rope me into the student council. I guess word must have gotten around. So now she's using me as ammo against Shizune. This just keeps getting better and better. It was your responsibility. A budget report isn't something you should just be delegating away. As class rep, it's your job to be on top of things. This kind of disregard for proper procedure is really just terrible. They completed it, being capable of doing so, but the students have been sick recently, so they could not come to school and give it back to me. If you want, I will apologize on their behalf for getting sick. Okay. Although Misha misses Lily's little jab entirely, Shizune doesn't, and she seems torn between being offended by Lily's daring and jumping for joy at the prospect of a challenge. Lily, don't they live here at the school? That's a 5-minute walk, you know. What could they possibly have that prevents them from taking 5 minutes out of their busy lives to drop something that will affect the enjoyment of the entire class? Lily opens her mouth to say something, but Shizune closes the gap between them and starts signing furiously, waving her hands around like an orchestra conductor. Misha tries her best to convey the same passion, but can't seem to lose her normal cheerful tone. The result is interesting and somewhat surreal. What's with that attitude? I said it's not something you should be delegating away. You are class representative, aren't you? Tell me the names of those two students. They should have your job if you can't even handle something this simple yourself. One form isn't the full extent of what I'm supposed to take care of. Lily's tone is growing slightly impatient, but she's doing a good job of not letting Shizune know how unsettled she is becoming. She's playing her cards close to her chest. Shizune, on the other hand, wraps her fingers cheerfully along the edge of her glasses, knowing Lily can neither hear nor see how excited she is. Of course you do so much, class rep. It must be so difficult being you. Lily tightens her lips at Misha's words, clearly understanding the intent behind them, even though Misha delivers them without a hint of sarcasm, which they are meant to have. Shizune and Lily don't like each other, that much is clear. But this seems a little much. It seems like Lily has had enough and is ready to push back. I was actually just discussing the budget report before you came by. You must be very talented to finish all of your student council duties so quickly that you can track me down to make sure I don't forget my own. Are you accusing me of slacking off? It seems you're confusing me with yourself. I don't think so. It would be a very difficult thing for me to do, comparing myself to you. You're right, the difference between us is like heaven and hell. It's not too hard to guess which one you might represent. The air between them ripples with the heat of their enmity. Well, not really. They can't disguise it anymore, though. Even Misha looks like she's beginning to understand the real nature of this conversation. Hichan, don't you slack off either. What are you talking about? Aren't you taking part in the festival, Hichan? You are, aren't you? Then I hope you're going to do a lot more to make sure it goes smoothly than this person. I don't understand why Shizune is suddenly getting mad at me. Alright, well... okay. So basically, I'm going to save here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the recording. And then do another thing.